Malkovich, Malkovich, Malkovich.
Malkovich, Malkovich. Malkovich, Malkovich, Malkovich. Malkovich, Malkovich. Malkovich.
Hi, welcome to the Ruben Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's film, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Nothing is as it seems when a woman experiencing misgivings about her new boyfriend joins him on a road trip to meet his parents at their remote farm. Starring Jessie Buckley, Jessie Plemons, Toni Collette, directed by Charlie Kaufman. When you go into a Kaufman film, you kind of know what you're in for.
Malkovich!
Especially when Netflix labeled this film as cerebral, dark, drama, art house, independent. You kind of know what you're going to get, and yet when you watch this film, you have no idea what's going on. And you might love it. I feel like this is definitely going to split audiences. I sometimes say that because it's a genre dedicated film, and so certain genres will have a dedicated audience. People just like certain types of films, or people just don't like slow films. This film is a very complicated film, and you feel like you don't know what you're watching for a lot of the time, but it's definitely a film that you kind of just need to experience, like a lot of Kaufman films or written films. If you understand John Malkovich, you will understand part of it, but being John Malkovich means that there's a lot going inside the cerebral brain. It's a lot of existential monologuing. There's a lot of things that talk about various genres that they kind of pull into different threads, and it's this whole mess of themes that kind of drives around one central premise around this relationship, and that's what this film is. You're talking about things about like Mussolini's train cart and whether Mussolini made the trains run on time. You're talking about time and everything that goes on, and you're talking about whether we experience time as us in time, or time experiences running through us. There are so many themes that we get to experience through this couple's eyes that are on this road trip, and they have these conversations about all of these big kind of themes, and I'm finding it difficult to continue to talk about it because my mind is still going, what the hell did I watch? Anyway, they're on a journey. They're going to see the parents. It's the moment where the boyfriend introduces girlfriend to parents. When you get to the parents' house, I have to say, there was this whole kind of scene that I was just blown away by. Toni Collette in this was phenomenal. When she's on screen, she kind of steals the performances, and that's saying a lot. She steals the screen presence from everybody, and that's saying a lot because everybody in this film I thought was fantastic. Like, they bring their A game. The amounts of different emotion that these people are able to invoke, that they show through screen, is going from one end of the spectrum to just outright belly laughing, to joyousness, to absolute mental breakdowns, to melancholy, which is a lot of this film, thinking about things far bigger than we normally allow ourselves the space to think of. I think that there are moments in our life where we start contemplating certain things, but when you spend a lot of time, you can get a bit melancholy, and this film looks at that a little bit. And so these characters are able to portray that kind of thing that's going on in this film. And I have to say, Toni Collette, when she's on screen as the mom, I just thought she was phenomenal. I do enjoy Toni Collette's acting, but this, for me, has to be one of the best. I think I recently saw her in a horror film, and she was fantastic, but this... wow. I think a lot of people can mistake this film as well for it being a horror, because there are moments when this film lends itself into thinking that it's going to go into the way of being a horror, and it is tense and it's weird and it's very odd, and you think it's going that way, but it doesn't quite. It does keep you on edge, and it always has you thinking of what the hell's going on. Did I just see that? That's one of my favorite things about this film, is what did I just see? There are definitely moments in this film that will pass you by that you'll need to watch 2 or 3 times, I think, to really try and catch what's going on behind the scene. Did you just see that person? How did they just end up there? Why they're talking that way? And I feel like you could do a spoiler review for this film, but also not really understand it yourself. Like, I think it'll definitely be down to people's perspectives of what they think or what they're experiencing in this film. Don't forget to give me a likes up in the comments if you enjoyed this review. We're kind of monologuing here, talking about a film in a whole. It's very difficult to talk about a film like this because it's so out there. There are moments in this film that really stand out for me. They kind of evoke emotion. There's a poetry bit, there's a musical bit, And they're just somehow, after what you've experienced, these characters go through, what you see them experiencing, when you see them experiencing things like age, what it means to age in time or outside of time, and then you get these poetry moments or musical moments. I just thought they were fantastic and so well done. And I have to say, this film was brave in a world where people like everything quick and now. Tell me what's happening. I don't want to figure it out for myself. Tell me. This film makes you think. It makes you figure out what's going on for yourself for the most part. Even by the time you reach the end, you'll still be going, what the hell did I just watch? And you may think you understand it, but I guarantee if you watch it a second or third time, you're going to be like, all right, I feel like that means this now. It's fantastic. There's so many nods to creativity in this film. I mentioned various kind of creatives and their minds. It's definitely that kind of story. Even the aspect ratio of the film is different. So everything, I feel like this film is just like nodding towards how great film can be in its art house. And it's definitely an art house film. This definitely won't be for everybody. And that's not to say that people experience film in different ways, and some people just don't like certain types of films. And I know a few of my friends are like, this film is just, artsy fartsy. And I get that. There are some films I've seen in the art house section where I've just gone, what is happening in this film? But for some reason, this film just really clicked with me. It took me a while to watch it. I stopped and thought about it, and I watched it again. I expected to have this review out much earlier, but I wanted to think about it and stew on the juices of this film. It has a lot to offer, and it's a very interesting ride. I feel like you do kind of need to be in the mood for this type of film. So if you are in a thinking mood, or you want a film that will be reminiscent of being John Malkovich in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that kind of ride, that kind of dialogue, of very heavy monologue scenes with conversation, then you're going to enjoy this. For the type of film it is, I'm going to give it an A, because it's fantastically acted. It's fantastically shown of what there is, but what there is may be up to your own experience of what you are viewing for the person that you are, if you understand my meaning, because it'll mean something different to everybody, I think. Very interesting film. Do chat to me in the comments below what you thought about this film, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.